Hi guys, today we are going to talk about data types. So let me share my screen. Okay, so we have a diagram, an ER diagram here with the columns and stuff, but we do not have the data types. Now data types are extremely important out here during the design itself. The reason is you have got these tables, but then what type of data will you keep? So basically the idea is like you have these columns: item id, item name, item code, item description. But the point is, what is item id? What type of data? Is it a number? Is it a string? What is it? So basically that needs to be understood. Okay, so basically normally, okay, item id or any id for the matter should be numbers. Okay, so basically you can say like, let me edit text. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is going to write a number not null. Why is not null given? Because it identifies that it must never be null. Okay, then name, it is going to be a text, right? So for text we give as in programming or any software related stuff, it is, the text is called as strings, so we write it as string. And item name, can it be null? All item must have a name, so for that it cannot be null, so it should be not null. Okay, so same for item code. Okay, because item code is, what is item code? Is a external id, an id that can be shared externally, so it has to be a string. It can be a number, but string can contain number also. Numeric characters, one can be treated as a string also, but a number cannot be treated as sorry, a. If you see the character a, it cannot be treated as a number, right? So for item code, so that to keep a provision for alphanumeric characters, that means both numbers and strings, it should be item code should be considered a string. So and not null, because item code should also be present. It is a best practice. Okay, so item description, over here I will not write not null. Okay, because description is, if it is given good, not given, it will not matter to the system, it will not break the system. Okay, so for that not null, I mean keeping it as null is okay. So now I'm going to the inventory. This is again a number and not null. Number and not null. Okay, but the count, what is the count? Count must be a number, because it keeps the number of items that you have. Number and not null, DFAU, default 0. What is default 0, by the way? The default 0 is like, if nothing is provided, it will automatically take the number 0. That's the concept. Okay, so here we come to this mapping table. Since all IDs are numbers and not null, then this will also be number and not null. In fact, let me just copy this fact to all IDs. Okay, so all IDs I put as number and not null. Okay, so now I'm going to put the data types for other things. This can be string, category name is okay, string not null. Let me put the string. Okay, this can be string not null. Code, of course, as I've said, best practice is to keep it not null. Okay, description can be null because it is not critical to the functioning of the system. Okay, so then again, item ID. Item ID is an FK. What is FK? Foreign key, because it uses item ID from here. And another point of the foreign key means is like you cannot have any value uh, of item ID that is not present in this table. So that is the biggest concept of foreign key. Okay, so it should be number not null, because you are referring to item ID out here, which is number and not null. Okay, quantity, transaction quantity should be a number for sure. Number and not null. Okay, I have not kept any value of 0 or anything, um, because some value must be given, and also of course at a like some of the database has, you can give check constant, but my thought is like these checks, data checks and stuff, we can have it on the in the programming level. Okay, so reference is again external reference that needs, that will uniquely identify the data. Okay, and transaction, this one is date not null, default sysdate. Default sysdate, it means like what will happen. Okay, the default sysdate, what is default? Default is a parameter, like it makes, like if the transaction date type is not provided, then the system date is taken and put into the database. Okay, so that's why the keyword default. So here we have discussed about the data types. I've used number now. Mm, so basically, like you have got number and string. Basically, idea is you have to identify, you have to during designing, you have to determine exactly what type of value have to go where. So that is very important. And what I've done is like I'm not specified anything related to Oracle or MySQL. Okay, so I'm just giving you a generic idea of what data types and where to, how to determine data types. Okay, now the thing is, next part would be like okay, so this for Oracle, there would be like varchar 2, for MySQL varchar, but that is I'm not bringing in the scope of this video. So thank you guys for today. This is the end. Thank you.